Hello YouTubers. Today we're going to be showing evidence of the 42047 car exiting, that it was actually parked in front of 1122 and it had a driver in waiting for a passenger. And this will be based off the reflections on the 1119 house, which is right here. And there's going to be reflections on the first floor, floor 1, floor 2, and floor 3. As soon as the 1112 video came out from 3:30 to 4:30, I started notating all the reflections on all 3 floors of 1119. Here's car 1 entering. Some notations: floor 1, 3:30:01 to 03, 2 seconds, when it's first seen entering on the cam. And then at 3:30:29, it's actually seen entering on Queen. As it's gone up towards the 13:30 Linda Lane cam, floor 2 windows start to light up, show reflections right here. It's seen on 13:30 cam at 3:30:55, and then it's 22 seconds to lights seen on 1127. That's the reflection lights. And right here you got floor 3 window reflections on 1119. Right here is where you see the lights are on 1127 from 3:31:17 to 22 seconds. That's a total of 6 seconds. And then right here, 1 minute and 37 seconds to exit. So all this stuff was notated. Right here, floor 3, you'll notice 3:32:48 to 50. Right here's the 48 seconds. I actually broke it down by frame. 48 has 25 frames. It's frame 11. I had to do that, as you'll see shortly. 50 was the 19th frame, and it has 33 frames. Here's the other notations, but the most important ones we're going to be working with are floor 3 and bushes. Here's floor 2 space, and then the right window, that's as it's exiting in 3:32:59. Headlights seen exiting, and I'll show that to you also. Here's the car after exit, south on Walenta, 37 seconds after it was first seen on 1112 camera. And there's the breakdown of when it was passing 1127, which was a total of 4 seconds. And there's the person exits right door at 1119, and that was right here is the time frame, 24 seconds. All 1119 window light reflections are noted on entry and exits of vehicles below. Light reflections from 1127 and 1107 also noted. So all vehicles covered were the 3:30 entering and leaving, 3:38, 3:56, 4:04, 4:07 returning after 3-point turn on King Road, Molly Subaru entering and leaving, 3:53 car leaving, 4:23 SUV leaving, and 4:29 SUV entering. Car 1 exits at 3:32:59. Floor 3 right window, so it was lit up for 2.2 seconds. When floor 3 light reflection disappears on the window, which is 3:32:50 and 19 frames of 33, to when the bushes across Queen Road light up, 3:32:51 third frame of 30 frames. That's a half a second. These will be the key time frames we're going to be working with. Now let's look at the videos. The first thing we have to do is establish when floor 3 right window reflection ends. So right here we got the 406:08 car. After it did its 3-point turn in the back parking lot on 1330 cam, it's now going to be leaving, and at 406:08 we'll see a reflection here, and that'll last about 14 seconds. The end of it is going to be the most important thing that we're working with. Right about now. We're going to keep going until these bushes light up, right about there. Well, we'll go a little further until we see the headlight right there. It's almost there now. There it is. Let me back it up a little bit. So that's where I clock it in, right there, which is 4:06:32. So here's car 4, first exit, which was the one we just looked at. 4:06:31 was when we saw the headlight right here. Car 4, first exit, headlight seen on 1112 cam before King Road 3-point turn at 4:06:31. So right here, floor 3 right window, that was on for approximately 14 seconds, but I'm only showing the last 2 seconds here, which are the important ones, because it's actually the very, very end that's the most critical. 4:06:20 to 22, right here, 22, third window. Then we go right here to the bushes across Queen Road, light up at 4:06:23. That is 1.2 seconds after the end of floor 3 light reflection going off, which is also the beginning of when the bushes light up, 1.2 seconds later. Now I'm going to show you the other cars in relation to that. I had to establish where the third floor light came on, the actual location. Here's car 1 that leaves at 3:32:59, and floor 3 light reflection ends at 3:32:50 and 19 frames. Then it goes dark until the bushes begin to light up across from Queen Road from the camera at 3:32:51 seconds, third frame. The difference between these two numbers is a half a second. It's almost imperceptible. So let's go down the rest of the list. Here's car 2 at 3:40:25. So the light on floor 3 window goes out at 3:40:14 and the 19th frame right here. And then the bushes begin lighting up at 3:40:15 and 14th frame, which is 0.9 seconds of dark in between. So this floor 3 window is a key player. Let's go to car number 3 right here. Leaves at 3:58:23. And at 3:58:13 and 25 frames, it goes dark. Then the bushes light up at 3:58:14 and 16 frames. Difference between that number and that number is 0.6 seconds. Now we've already checked out car 4, which is the one that left from the 1330 cam. But here's the numbers again, 4:06:22, 3 frames. Then the bushes light up, 4:06:23, 13 frames, 1.2 seconds in between. Then we'll go to Molly's car, because she actually comes down and parks in front of 1122 King Road at about 3:58 a.m. The floor 3 headlight reflection ends at 3:58:01 and 26 frames. And the 01, by the way, has 33 frames in it, as you can see here. And then the bushes begin to light up at 3:58:02 and 13 frames. And the 02 has 24 frames. So the difference between these numbers is 0.8 seconds. And right here, when Molly finally leaves at 4 o'clock and 41 seconds, there is no floor 3 light reflection. And that's because she's leaving from 1122, which is right below. It's west of where you can see the light reflections when the car's headlights are coming through. It only happens in a small area, and I'll show that to you in just a second. But that's a key thing right here that helps set the stage. This one here, and also this one here that came from the 1330 cam. That really helps set the stage. That last 1 second of the floor 3 window reflecting and going off. That let me know where that light was being picked up on these other cars right here. As most of you know, the 406 car left back in this area here off the 1330 cam and came west down along these apartments. And then here's 1122. The third floor light that we've been talking about is right in this area here, above the entrance to 1122, or right at the edge. So someplace right where the cars can come down between 1122 and the apartments, right where they take a left, that's where the floor 3 window light is reflecting from this area here when it gets right here, and not below here. This window right here, the reflections here, those reflections will be coming on after the 48-second mark. And when that window reflection goes off, I'll hold the camera right about here so you can see the window, timestamp, and especially these bushes right here. This is what you're going to want to watch for. When this window goes off, it will be literally a half a second before you'll see the beginning of the lighting from the headlights coming down the road right here. And they'll get brighter. Okay, so I've got it set 5 seconds in advance so the screen will clear up in about 3 seconds. Here we go. Now the windows on floor 2, you'll notice them, but basically for this, what I'm trying to put out, let's just ignore these. These are not important for the time frame between here and the brush. So let's do that one more time. Here we go. So watch this top window, and right about the 48-second marker. There it is. Now watch right here. Now it looks like it takes time for those lights to actually come on, and I'll show you something here. Okay, so watch right here. I'm going to put the headlight of the car right there. There it is. There's the headlight. That's where I clock in between. I'm timing everything from the reflection in this top window here when the light first shows up, early on, right here in the brush, and then when the headlight shows up right there. And you'll see what I'm talking about once we get to the 4:20 a.m. car escaping. Okay, let's go to car number 2. Car number 2, again, there's the third floor window. Here's the bushes. And this is going to happen at 3:40 and 14 seconds. So here we go. Watch this top floor window right here. And there's the bushes lighting up. Okay, here's the third car, and the light reflection is going to begin at 3:58:12, which is in 5 seconds. So here we go. Watch the upstairs floor 3 window at the 12-second mark. Now watch right down here. There it is. Okay, so that was 0.6 seconds between the end of this flash and the beginning here. Now at the beginning, I know it's hard to see when the light begins on here, but I use the magnifying glass and I can see the very early stages before it gets like this here. Okay, this is going to be Molly's car pulling up front of 1122. So it's going to be very dim. So you're going to have to watch real close at 3:58:00. 3:58:00, and it happens for about 0.8 seconds. And then the bushes will light up. I'll hone in a little closer, but they're not going to light up very bright because she actually stops in the front of 1122. So here we go. We're looking for 3:58:00. 3 seconds. Watch that top window. There it is. Now watch down here. There it is. A little light. Now it goes away. That's when she parks in front of 1122. Okay, before we get to the 420 car taking off at a high rate of speed video, let's look at this here. So at 4:20 and 42 seconds, you'll hear a car door close. And that happens in the first 10 frames of the 42nd second of 32 frames. So that's the first 1/3 second. Then, right here at 4:20:43, frames 18 to 23 of 25. So that's going to be just over 1 second later. Just slightly over 1 second later, floor 3 lights up at 4:20:43 in 18 to 23 frames. That's 5 frames. Hopefully you can see it. Literally half a second later, the bushes light up at 4:20:44 in 14th frame. The bushes light up. So let's take a look at that video. This is going to be the car that leaves at a high rate of speed. We're going to be watching this. It's only going to flicker for 1/3 of a second on the 43rd second. So this is what to expect once we get going here. At 38, there's a dog bark. At 41, there's a dog bark. So all that we don't really care about. But right after that dog bark at 41 seconds, you'll hear a door close right on 42 seconds. You have to listen very closely. You can hear it, but it's dim compared to the dog bark. Then at 43 seconds, there's a dog bark. In the beginning of the 44th second, you can hear the car taking off. So let's go through that, and then I'll come back and we'll go over it again. So here we go. So at 38, a dog bark, and 41, a dog bark. Okay. So you see how fast it takes off. So let's go over this again, because this is the important stuff. Okay, we just heard a dog bark. Now we're going to go into 42. So listen real good for a door closing. I'll put you close to the microphone. Here we go. And that was the dog bark at 43 seconds. So we're going to go over it again. And this time, after the 43-second dog bark, if you listen real close, you'll hear the car taking off. So here we go, 41 dog bark, then door close. Okay, so at 42, you hear the car door close in the first 1/3 second. Then you saw the floor 3 headlight reflection at 4:20:43, which is just over 1 second difference between these two time frames. The car door closes. 1 second later, you see the reflection on floor 3. That means the car is moving. That means when you heard the car door close, that was somebody getting into the car. There was already a driver in the driver's seat. There's no way anybody can get in the car and take off that fast if they're the only person in the car. Literally half a second later, that's a half a second, not even 1 second, the bushes light up. So the car is moving 1 second after you hear the door close. Now let's watch that again. And then I'll have something else to tell you about the dog barking. Okay, here we go once more. Notice there's no dog barking. The 43-second was the last dog bark. The dogs knew that car left. The next dog bark I believe it's at 42 seconds is the next single dog bark. Let's just stay here. And then one more. And that's it until 4:22:00. That's when the dog barking picks up again. Let's just stay here and listen. And it just keeps going and going. So the last dog bark was exactly when that car took off. Those dogs, or that dog, knew that was it. Okay, now we're at 4:17:42, which is before the 420 car takes off at a high rate of speed. Now, although there are a couple of dog barks before this point, within the last 30 or 45 seconds, not much at all, at the 47-second right here, that's when the dog starts to really bark, from 4:17:47 all the way up until 4:20:43, which is 3 minutes. You'll hear the dog barking. I'll even speed it up. And then, as soon as that car leaves at 4:20:43, That's the last dog bark. You don't hear another bark until 4:21:42, which is 1 minute later. And then the dog really starts barking at 4:22:00. So let's listen to the dog barks here. Okay, I'm playing it back at double the speed until the car leaves in 2.5 minutes. So that dog knew when that car left. And if it would have left from behind, it would have stopped barking then. We'll just go to the 43 or past it so you can hear the difference in the dog barks. No more dog barks. Okay, folks, let me know what you think in the comments. Have a great day.